Hello, friends of Sudoku, and good morning, and welcome to the 20th of November 2023 and today's New Yorker Times Hard Sudoku puzzle. Once again, it's available here in Vietnam at 6 a.m., 4 hours before its usual publishing time. We'll take it as usual, though, and get it over and done with, I hope, as quickly as possible. While I've been saying this, I have seen these two sevens blocking up here. So a 7 must go here. We have a 4 blocking down here. So a 4 from row 9 must go either here or here. We also have two 7s blocking across here. So a 7 and a 4 is going to be a nice pair for these two squares here, leaving a 6, 5 and a 1 for these other 3 squares in the row. The 5 blocks down, of course, so one of these is a 5. 4s. Yes, we had these 4s blocking down here, and this 4 blocking across, so here's a 4. Here now an 8, 9, and a 5. The 8, of course, blocks up. The 8 blocks over here, so here's an 8, and therefore we have an 8 in one of these two squares. Now the 5 and a 9. Yes, this can't be a 9, and why is that so? Well, the 9 blocks over here, giving me a 9 for one of these 3 squares, and therefore this can't be a 9. It also can't be an 8, so it follows that it must be a 5. And now we have 8 and 9 in these two squares. This 5 blocks down, this 5 blocks up, so a 5 is going to go here because this 5 also blocks across. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a missing 3, 6, and 9. Well, that's more difficult. So I'm going to look at something else, I think. 3, 4, 6, and a 9 across here. There's a 3 and a 4 here. So this is a 6 or a 9. There's a 3 and a 5 here, or 3 and 6 here. So this is a 4 or a 9. Also somewhat unclear. I am going to close the balcony door. Those dogs outside, they drive me crazy. As much as I love the Vietnamese, their relationship to pets is very different from what I'm used to. They have absolutely no idea how to raise a pet, how to train it. They don't care. They don't do it. Well, it's their country, their culture. But it's my balcony door, and now it's closed. So back to the case of the hard Sudoku of today. 1, 5, 6, and a 9. We got a 5, 6, and a 9 blocking this square. It is a 1, which now blocks these two squares, making this a 1. Now we have a 1 blocking up and down, and therefore here's another 1. 8, 9 must go here, we know that. Therefore these must be a 2 and a 3. I don't know what to do with that, but we know what we can enter here because we know that these two have got to be a 9 and a 6. While I can't place them yet, I know that this therefore must be a 5. Across here we need to find a 2, 8, 9 and one more, a 7. 7, 9, this is a 2, 8. 2, 8, this is a 7, 9. So I'm not going to do much with that yet. But we can place a 3 now. And we can place a 3 here. First of all, this 3 blocks this square. This 3 blocks this square. But we also know that one of these is a 3 blocking this square. So here we go with the 3. we now have these 2 3s blocking here, here, and here, and this 3 blocking here. So 3 goes here. We know that these are 4 and a 7, right? And these therefore must be a 6 and a 5. That makes these a 1 and a 9. That doesn't do much for me. We'll try to keep it in memory. And while we do that, we can enter a 4 here because of this 4 blocks up here. We found this 3, so this cannot be a 4 candidate cell anymore. There are 4 blocks here alone, and there's 4 blocks here, so here's a 4. Now we need a 6 and a 9 for these squares. This 4 helps us with the 4 and the 7 pair we had here. Now the 4 must go here and the 7 must go here. Here now 2, 6 and an 8. 6 and 8 block down. Here's a 2. 6 blocks down. Here's an 8 and here's a 6. Now we have an 8 here, and we have an 8 here because this 8 blocks down, this 8 blocks up. We are going to have an 8 either here or here. We have an 8 blocking here and here, so an 8 must go either here or here. And since this 8 blocks here, the only square left in row 5 that can be an 8 is here. Now we have this 8 blocking up and this 8 blocking up. We have this 8 and this 8 blocking here and here as well. So an 8 must go here. Here are 2, 9 and a 7. We have a 2 blocking here and we have a 2 blocking here. So here's a 2. 9 and 7 here now, and I can't solve them yet. But we're getting somewhat close to the finishing line now, I think. The 5s, 6s, and 9s are the trouble numbers for today's game. Therefore, it's convenient that we have this 4 blocking this square. So we can enter 4 here and we can find a 3 for this square here. Now, as we recall from earlier, one of these must be a 3 blocking up. And this 3 blocks over, so a 3 goes here. Now we have a 6 and a 9 for these 2 squares. The 6 blocks over, the 9 goes here, and the 6 here. Only one square left in the column here, and that's a 6, so therefore this is a 9. And only one square left here, another 9. And we know that one of these must be a 9. We know this because this 9 blocks over. Now, this 9 blocks this square, therefore 9 goes here. We know that this must be a 1 because it's the last number missing in the row. And I think we are starting to look good. This 9 blocks here, therefore the 9 for the row goes in this position and the 7 goes here. This 7 blocks up, this 7 blocks up, a 7 goes here. 2, 5, and a 6 here. We know this is a 5 or a 6. So a 2 goes here or here. And therefore here or here. We have 4 and 5 blocking here. So these squares must be a 4 and a 5. Therefore, this has got to be a 2. Since these are 4 and 5, these must be 6 and 2. We know that the 2 blocks up, right? So here's a 6 and here's a 2. Now over here, we are looking for a 1 and a 9. And that's easy. The 9 blocks up, giving me this 1 and this 9. Now I think I should be looking at these 4 numbers. And they must be 1, 8, 7, and a 3. 1, 8 blocking down. So 1 and 8 go here. That means that these must be 7 and a 3, and the 7 blocks over, giving me this 3 and this 7. We knew that one of these is a 3 because these are 8 and 9 still. The 3 blocks over, so here's a 3. And here, therefore, is a 2. This 2 blocks over, this is 2 blocks down, this 2 blocks up, here's a 2. Now a 5 and a 6 for these two squares, and the 6 blocks over, putting the 5 here, and the 6 here. We had a 4 and a 5 up here, the 5 blocks up, here's a 4, here's a 5. 4 blocks down, 4 blocks over, here's a 4. And here we must have a 1, giving me a 1 for this square and an 8 for this. And that gives me an 8 here and a 9 here. And here we must have a 6. The last number is a 9, it goes here. I have to say that after the past few days puzzles from the New York Times, this was surprisingly easy, but quite enjoyable for me, and I hope for you as well. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.